हरिः ओम् शान्तं शाश्वतमप्रमेयमनघं निर्वाणशान्तिप्रदं ब्रह्मा शम्भुफणीन्द्रसेव्यमनिशं वेदान्तवेद्यं विभुं रामाख्यं जगदीश्वरं कुलगुरुं मायामनुष्यं हरिं वन्देऽहं करुणाकरं रघुवरं भूपालचूडामणि सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः. I am now going to cover Sargas 12 to 16. Basically, this is a dialogue that takes place between Ravana and Kumbhakarna, Vibhishana and Prahasta, Indrajit and Vibhishana, and finally what Ravana tells Vibhishana and what forces him to leave Ravana's side. I've already mentioned to you that Ravana had called the big assembly of everybody important in Lanka, and then he directs Prahasta to go and organize the army for the fortification and protection of Lanka. Prahasta complies, goes away, and then deploys the army with all the forces in various ways. Then Ravana turns to the assembly of all the generals and ministers who are still in the court. Priya priye sukham dukkham labha labhau hita hite dharma kamartha kruchreshu yuhamarhata vedatum. Please give me the correct advice because you have always. Then Ravana turns to Kumbhakarna. Ayam hi suptaha shanmasan Kumbhakarno mahabalaha sharvashastra bhrutam mukhyaha sa idanim samuttitaha. He says, you have now got up Kumbhakarna, let me tell you what has happened. Iyam cha dandakaranyad ramasya mahishi priya rakshobhis charita deshat anita janakatmaja same shayyam arodhum ichatyalasagaminhi trishu lokeshu chanyame na sita sadrishi mata. Kumbhakarna, I have gone to Dandakaranya, our region where Rama was there with his queen Sita, and I have brought her here by force. I want to take her to bed, but she is not interested. Alasagamini, she is reluctant, but I like her very much. Trishu lokeshu chanya me na Sita sadrishi mata. She is so beautiful. I want her more than anybody else in the three worlds. Then he describes to Kumbhakarna how he has done a fantastic job by abducting her and all that. Then he says, tell me what we should do now. He repeats his idea of supreme confidence that neither Rama, Lakshmana nor the Vanaras will be able to cross the ocean, and definitely even if they manage to come, they will all be killed in a jiffy by Ravana and his army. Response that Kumbhakarna gives Ravana is very interesting. Yadatu Ramasya Salakshmanasya prasayya Sita khalu sa iha hrita Sartut samikshaiva sunischitam tada bhajeta chittam yamuneva yamunam sarvametan maharaja krutam apratimam tava vidhiyeta sahasmabhihi adau evasya karmanaha. Oh, respected brother Ravana, if only you had first defeated Rama and Lakshmana in battle in Dandakaranya, and then you had like a war booty brought Sita to Lanka, or if you had discussed your actions in advance with us and then taken actions as determined by the assembly, then everybody would be full of praise for you, because you would have done the way Yamuna goes into the ocean in the proper way, same way your actions would have followed. But all this you have not done. In fact, what you have done is apratimam tava krutyam. So whatever you have done is actually undignified and not statesmanlike. Now you tell us what you want us to do. One thing I will tell you, I am telling you that you should have first killed Rama and Lakshmana and then brought Sita, but you have brought the queen without doing that. Let me complete that part of the action for you. If at all they come here, don't worry, I'll be able to take care of them and all the Vanaras. So Kumbhakarna rests his advice at this point. Then there is a general by name Mahaparshva. He says, Ravana, great Rakshasa king, nobody has been able to challenge you so far. Ishvarasyeshvarah kosti tava shatru nibarhana ramasva saha vaidehya shatrun akramya murdhasu balat kukkuta vruttena vartasva sumahabala Akramya Sitam Vaidehim Tata Bhungshva Ramasvacha. Ravana, nobody can challenge you. You are Ishvaras Yeshwaraha. So you do one thing, use force. Force yourself on Sita like a cock or a rooster will force itself on a hen and enjoy her. Nobody can stop you from doing that. Ravana then tells a little story to the assembly. He says, Mahaparshva, I have to disclose something to you. The reason why I have not forced myself on Sita, but I am waiting for her. She has asked for a 1 year time. I am waiting for her to come to bed. Is because once in heaven, when I was going, there was an Apsara by name Punjika Sthala. I caught hold of her and raped her. And I enjoyed myself very much. But later she went to Brahma and complained, this is what I have done. Brahma became very angry with me. Then he gave me a curse and a warning. Adya Prabhuti Yamanyam Balan Narim Gamishyasi Tadate Shatadha Murdha Phalishyati Na Samshayaha. Look, henceforth you dare not attack and rape a woman against her will. If you do so, your head will break to 100 pieces. So, because of that, I am afraid to go and force myself on my thing. Everybody is silent at this point, but Vibhishana wants to say something. He speaks in a tone very different from everybody else. Ruto hi bahvantara bhoga rashihi chinta vishaha susmita tikshna damshtraha panchanguli pancha shirotikayah sita mahahi stava kena rajan yavanna lankam samabhidravanti valimukaha पर्वतकूटमात्राः दंष्ट्रायुधाश्चैव नखायुधश्च pradiyataam dasharathaaya mai. O Ravana, you have done something terrible. You have brought a ghora sarpini, a terribly big and dangerous serpent called Sita, and brought her and put her round your neck. Her muscles are so strong, but actually what you are mistaking for her cute body is actually the body of a very, very terrible serpent. You are thinking of her is her poisonous bites on your brain. And whatever smile you see in her is actually the fangs of that serpent. Her 5 fingers are like her 5 hoods. The Vanaras are huge and powerful army. They will come and with their teeth and nails, they'll be able to fight you terribly. And before Rama attacks you with his terrific arrows, destroys the entire Lanka, including you, Pradiyatam Dasharathaya Maithili, please return Sita to Rama. In fact, he says Ravana should take all his wealth and wonderful gifts along with Sita and hand her over to Rama with a huge confession of misdemeanor and begging for excuse. He says, Jivanstu Ramasya na mokshyase tvam guptaha savitrapyathava marudbhihi na vasavasyankagato na mrutyoho na kham na patalam anupravishta. Look, Ravana, you cannot be protected from Sri Rama's attack even by the sun and all the wind god and everybody else, including Indra, and your death will be certain. Even if you go and hide behind Yama, you are not safe even in Patala. At this point, Prahasta, who has returned to the assembly after deploying the forces, says, what are you talking, Vibhishana? You don't know the strength of our army. You are talking about a normal human being, Rama and his brother, and you are afraid of them. We will destroy them in no time. We are so powerful. To which Vibhishana says, I am hi Raja Vyasanabhibhuto Mitrair Pratimair Bhavadbihi Anvasyate Rakshasa Nashanaya Tikshna Prakrutya Hesamikshakari. Look, Ravana, your greatest tragedy is you are surrounded by people who you think are your friends, but all the advice that they are giving you is only for your final destruction. So your situation is extremely pitiable. Vishana concludes by saying, Samyaghi Vakyam Satatam Bravimi Narendra Putraya Dadama Patneem. We will return Sita to Narendra Putra Sri Rama. This is my considered advice to you. I am repeating myself. At this stage, Indrajit gets up. We must remember that Indrajit has conquered Indra himself. He speaks with extreme disrespect to his uncle Vibhishana. Kim namate tata kanishta vakyam anarthakam chaiva subhitavaccha asmin kule yosi bhavenna jataha sopi drusham naiva vadenna kuryat. What are you talking, uncle? You are speaking the most useless words. You are full of fear. If even you had not been born in our great Kula, even then these words would not be worthy of you. So, what kind of a stupid guy are you? What advice are you giving to Ravana? I am ashamed of you, and you are a coward. Vibhishana stops Indrajit and responds very angrily. Putra pravadena tu Ravanasya Twamindrajit mitra mukhosi shatruhu yasye drusham raghavato vinasham nishamya mohad anumanyase tvam. You are talking like the friend of Ravana, but actually you are the enemy, because the kind of advice you are giving is surely going to bring our total destruction from Sri Rama. Ko Brahmadhanda Pratima Prakasha Archishmataha Kala Nikasha Rupan Saheta Banan Yamadanda Kalpan Samikshya Muktan Yudhi Raghavena. I want to tell you, Rama's arrows are like Brahmadhanda. They are radiant as they travel in the battle, and they will destroy like Yamadanda. Nobody can face them. Sitam cha Ramaya nivedya devim vasema rajan vita shokaha. Look, Ravana, O Lord, O King, I am telling you with all humility. Sitam cha Ramaya nivedya devim. She is the Devi. We let us return her to Sri Rama. Then we will live here with no fear, no distress. The advice that Vibhishana again and again gives Ravana, countering the arguments of Prahasta, Suparshva, and Indrajit, unfortunately turn Ravana very much against Vibhishana. He responds, Janami Shilam Gnatinam Sarvalokeshu Rakshasa Hrushyanti Vesane Shvete Gnatinam Gnataya Sada. You are a typical Dayadi, Gnati, or a sibling, because in the whole world, O Rakshasa, Vibhishana, the reputation of siblings and Dayadis is they always wish for the downfall of the ruler, and they will always be scheming for his downfall, and they will enjoy themselves by giving him whatever opportunity to fall down. You are doing the same thing. All your advice is for my destruction. You have not considered what is my wish and what is my ambition, and you are scheming for the enemy to succeed against by saying I should return Sita. At this stage, more words are exchanged, very unpleasant. Vibhishana continues to be respectful but firm in his advice that what Ravana has done has to be undone. Sita has to be returned with great courtesy, with an apology to Sri Rama. When all this doesn't work, and he is again and again insulted by Ravana as an unwanted person, as a traitor, Valmiki says something very powerful. Apriyasya tu pathyasya vakta shrota cha durlabha baddham kalasya pashe sarva bhutapaharina. When an advice that is given is unpalatable like a bitter medicine because the disease is terrible, nobody vakta shrota cha durlabha. Nobody listens to such advice. Nobody takes such medicine because baddham kalasya pashena. The living being is so driven by kala pasha, fate, the fate that will tie them up, that they will have no sense and they will only descend into their destruction without taking. Bravicha tadavakyam jatakrodho vibhishanaha Antarikshagata Shriman Bhrataram Rakshasadhipam. So at this point, Utpapata Gadapanihi Chaturbihi Saharakshasai. Vibhishana knows that his days in Lanka are over right now. So he says what he has to say. Then he takes off into the air with 4 of his trusted lieutenants, Rakshasas. And then he says, Ravana, I can only wish you well. I am not your enemy. I want you to do the right thing, live by dharma. May you do the right thing and may you be saved, and leaves from Lanka aerially.